even as efforts are made to address their concerns. Government reiterates its commitment to dialogue with the GRMA with a view to resolving this impasse for full nursing services to be restored.
But the reality is that we have over 120,000 nurses, and the implementation of the current condition of service that they are demanding will have serious consequences for the budget. In fact, if we fully implement it, we are going to add in excess of 2 billion cedis to the compensation budget. We have all committed that in our resolve to reset the economy of this country, we must maintain a 1.5% primary balance surplus every year in order to bring our debt levels to sustainable levels. And so it is important for us to manage expenditure. And so we want to appeal to our revered nurses that we are willing to negotiate, to sit with them and the Ministry of Health to agree on a roadmap that will help us incorporate what can be accommodated in the budget.
Given the urgency of the situation and suffering of the patients, government appeals to public-spirited retired nurses and midwives to volunteer their services for a brief period pending the resolution of the impasse.
The best in the morning is on 92.7.
We further express our deep appreciation to practicing nurses who have opted to remain at post to help suffering patients and urge others to show similar fellow feeling and assist our ailing compatriots, even as efforts are made to address their concerns. Government reiterates its commitment to dialogue with the GRMA with a view to resolving this impasse for full nursing services to be restored.
But the reality is that...
Now, let's go to the Ministry of Health and talk to the Minister for Health, who has been trying assiduously to engage with the nurses. Honorable Minister, welcome, and thank you very much, MP for Dwaboso. Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny.
Now, our nurses are still on strike following the Labour Commission asking them not to go on strike. You have made a passionate appeal to them to come to the table to have a conversation with you. Have you gotten any indication that they want to come to the table to have a conversation with you?
For now, those on strike, no. But
The best in the morning is on
I have got indication this morning that there are other groups who are not part of the strike who will also want to come and engage me, and we'll be meeting this morning.
I see.
But those who are on strike, I haven't gotten any indication of that nature.
You have made a passionate appeal. Do you get a sense that your appeal has been heard?
Well, Johnny, since this is the first time I'm engaging you on this matter, I would want to give you the facts as they exist. And then if you have any subsequent question, I will try or attempt to answer them. Number one, the condition of service or the agreement under contention now was supposed to be implemented in 2024. I'm only giving you facts. Number two, since we assumed power, I have engaged them on several occasions on this agreement. In fact, it is a group I have met more than any other group in the health sector. In the health sector, we have more than 90 unions in the health sector.
I see.
Now, I'll give you an example, and this is just one example of some of the things we have been talking about. In one, as part of the conditions in the initial stages, what they were forcefully pushing was the fact that government was supposed to renew their licenses for them.
That's right.
Johnny, number one, in as much as I appreciate the invaluable contributions by my cherished nurses to the health sector, if you attempt to solve one problem and you don't solve the problem well, you end up creating hundreds, if not thousands, of other challenges or problems. It is a fact that everybody's license is his personal property, and that is what makes you a professional. And we have other cadres in the health sector, pharmacists, medical doctors, anesthetists, even drivers. And since you are all working in the same environment, and you are not careful, and you agree to pay certain entitlements, you open yourself up, and the others will come with the same demand. And therefore, we have to treat it carefully and cautiously. So what it tells you is that not everything that is in the agreement is implementable. That's a fact. But government is also committed in making sure that our nurses also get good conditions of service. That's also a fact. And so what we have done is that, look, let us sit around the table. Let's go through. We have inherited it. But at least if we are coming to implement it, we must understand it. For example, if, Johnny, you ask me in the conditions of service that there's something we call height and depth allowance for a nurse, the minister must understand it and know why we are paying. Is that not so?
That's correct.
That's correct. So let's meet around the table and have a discussion whilst I am also linking up with my colleague, the finance minister. In the scheme of things, once an agreement is signed, it is then pushed to the Minister of Finance for the implementation of that agreement. It moves from the health sector to a finance issue. And so you cannot do it alone. And we are working as a government. And therefore, you must have the indications from the public purse.
Right.
Now, we have a country to govern. We have lives to protect. We have people who must give good conditions of service. We must reconcile it well. Then the minister for finance says, look, Minister for Health, if I am supposed to implement this agreement as it exists now, it will throw off my budget for in excess of 2 billion for now. And you sit at cabinet, you know what we are going through and what we are managing at this point in time.
Right.
And so can we talk? Please, we have not said we are not going to listen to them or we are not going to implement the conditions of service. We have not said anyway. And yesterday, if you look at my engagement in it, consistently, I have made a point that we need to engage. And so you cannot, and Johnny, that law, that provision, that gives any worker in this country the right to go on demonstration. That law also says that we must obey rulings of court. Now, when this strike was declared, a roadmap was declared, to me, quickly, I called the leadership. I said, look, this route is not the best route. And therefore, let's call off the strike and then still continue to engage so we find lasting solution to the challenge.
What did they say?
Now, they didn't. They proceeded with a strike. And then the Fair Wages and Salary Commission, the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Finance, and Labour Commission were all invited. At the time, I am so pained to announce to you that immediately the leadership declared the strike, they left the country. They were not available for engagement. So the first meeting, nobody represented them. Even insisted they should send representatives, they refused at the first meeting. Well, I am the mother ministry, so I should continue to engage them. So they declared that strike as illegal. Now, the High Court, the Labour Commission went to High Court to secure an injunction that, look, no, you can't do this. Because at least you must give us 7 days notice. You didn't do that. And so go back. Johnny, if we are not supposed to respect the laws of our country and anybody and everybody wants to do what he or she likes, please, we have a country to govern. And so they defied that one too as well. Johnny, all that we are saying, I am the mother ministry. I'll be excited to get good conditions of service for medical doctors, for pharmacists, for our nurses, for nurses. I'll be so excited. But we also have a country to govern. And so they should call up the side. You see, Johnny, everybody is waiting and listening, and everybody is looking on how we are handling this issue.
That's right.
If today we say, oh, because you have gone on strike, there's a gun on the head of government, and so come, we have approved everything for you. Johnny, tomorrow, another group will also come up. Go on strike until you do same for them. They say we're also not coming. So you see, that is why I earlier on indicated that if you're not very careful in your attempt to solve one problem, you may end up creating more problems. So with the greatest deal of respect, I should be the happiest person if they get what they want. And, Johnny, let me tell every health worker that I am the best person to pursue their interests. And I'll continue to pursue their interests. And so, let's all come back to the hospital, the facilities. You cannot be engaging whilst you are on strike. It's not done. That is a position of the law. And we are governed by law. Somebody should tell me this is not correct. Please, somebody should do the right thing, irrespective of the consequences. Once it is right, let's stand by it. And so they should call off the strike. I am ready and prepared. I am engaging those who are not on strike even today because they are not on strike. I'm engaging them today. At any moment from now, 10, I'm engaging them because they are not on strike. Please, with a greater deal of respect. Yesterday, for example, I engaged the press and there were a number of issues I laid out.
Right.
It is never my intention to say that because the nurses are on strike, we are permanently going to engage retired nurses. But as a minister, if they ask you, what are the measures you are putting in place to mitigate the effect? You must have an alternative. You must have an alternative.
Right.
So we publish some of them, and if you read well what I said pending the resolution of the matter, pending the resolution of this impasse. So I am willing and ready at any given time, even if today they call off the strike, we'll all meet, and I can assure you and promise you that I'll be the first person, the chief advocate, and I will pursue their interests. Once it is mutually accepted, underline that word. Once it is mutually accepted. Look, there are conditions of service that have been signed and it is not implementable. I'll give you an example. If you say, Johnny, that government must pay the 13th month salary.
Right.
13th month salary, and that we are pushing this 13th month salary to the facilities. And the nurse works at Femi Hardship's compound. And you say, as you go and sign that agreement, Femi Hardship compound, where are they going to get the money to pay 13th month salary? Are we thinking through what we sign for our people? So you end up signing the thing, and you cannot... Look, today, any health professional will tell you that there are some conditions that are not implementable. So please, I mean so well, as a young guy, I've been given the opportunity to serve my country for a very long time. It is time for me to give my best to this country. I am not ready to disappoint this country. Any decision we take, and I am a party to it,
Right.
I'll offer my best advice and then put the country first. So with due respect, I speak to you as at yesterday, the leadership, you see, the interesting aspect is that at later time, when they even decide to send their representatives, you engage them, and then they can't even take a decision because the president is not available, the general secretary, so he will tell you that he is going to consult. What's the essence of the meeting? What's the essence of the engagement? What's the essence of the engagement?
I see.
You send a representative, the president is not in the country, the general secretary is not available, you sit around the table with high-ranking government officials. Then maybe if it's represented by, let's say, the vice president, after a lengthy discussion, he will only tell you that I'm going to consult my leadership. Can you imagine what we are going through? But you see, that, and Johnny, maybe this is also very important to draw your attention.
Okay, let's hear
that in the health sector, the total health workforce we have is around 180,000 people. Out of the 180,000 people, the nurses are around more than 125,000.
I see.
Take note. So anything, they are in majority. So even if you increase anything by even 1 Ghana cedi, it should not be a mere increment, but you should stand by it and you should be able to pay. You just don't sign conditions just for signing sake.
Right.
You must make the money available. You must obey and stand by it. That gives you a credibility as a leader. And so with the greatest respect, with all humility,
yes, sir,
I am ready and open to engage them so we find lasting solution to this matter. If you have any further questions,
were you in the room with the nurses? Because I know that some other unions who are also nurses were not in agreement with this. I've seen the court documents, I've seen the collective bargain agreement. But let me ask you, were you in the room with the nurses to agree on something, and then they came out of the meeting and then they decided to announce to the world otherwise?
As a leader, Johnny, I know where you are going, but as a leader...
Oh, I'm only be a journalist, though. I'm only be a journalist.
It's not everything we can say outside.
Okay, don't say if you don't have to say.
My best too, Johnny. My best. Sometimes, if I attempt to put some of them outside, other groups will say, "Oh, then if you are able to do this for these people, then we also need this." You understand? Even
I get you.
As a matter of good faith, if you sit around a table and have a conversation and you are even changing your position, you must signal the other party that I'm changing my position. Is that not fair?
That's right. That's fair.
That is fair. So if we all agree that, okay, for the smooth implementation of so, let's form a committee and see to the full implementation of the matter. And then you are changing your position. You just say, Mr. Minister, no, we think that we have changed our position. But you don't agree, and then you go back and meet whoever you want to go and meet. You change your position, and based on the change of position, you take an action without notifying me. Is it fair? Because in the midst of some of this, I don't want to talk plenty.
You don't have to.
No. I don't want to talk plenty.
No.
Because the nurses out there, I am not looking at the leadership of the nurses. I am looking at the hundreds of thousands of nurses out there. There are people I'm looking at. But to be honest with you, their leadership, they are disappointing them. I must be very honest. Very hard to say this, but I'll say it.
At the end of the
every union leader,
right,
your responsibility, your responsibility is not to oppose government. Your responsibility is to link up with government to find solutions of the problems of your members. True or false?
That's correct.
But at the end of the day, it is the good conditions of service that your people they need how can I link well with government? You don't come around the table and then start, taking entrenched position and instructing everybody around. And you will not even budge. You don't do that. You disappoint your people. You come, you open up. We all discuss. Okay, this is what we'll be able to do. Okay, let's push this one. You take it one at a time. If government says this is what is ready, you take that one quickly. Then you go. You reorganize yourself. You come back to the table again. I've gotten one. Okay, Mr. Minister or government, can I get a second one? Then you negotiate. You take whatever is available. But you say, no, media, if you're not doing this, I'm not going. Who does this? You don't do that anywhere. You don't. And once we begin to offer something because they are on strike, tomorrow, if another group is on strike, you will say you won't offer anything. Please, you offer something. Please. So I hope this is the first radio station after my engagement yesterday. I have not gathered any interview.
We
appreciate
you.
And I hope nobody will take me out of context. And I hope I've taken my time to digest the issues.
Now, I know that you traveled outside this country. What did you go and do in Obimas?
That's another interesting aspect. Okay. So, when I took office, I came to meet what we call African Medicine Agency. So it's more or less like the whole continent, our FG, like in Ghana, we say Food and Drugs Authority.
That's right.
So the whole continent. So African countries, state parties, the health ministers, we attended a meeting and we were looking for the Director General of the AMA, we call it AMA, African Medicine Agency. So they started with about 149 people, applicants, and they screened up to 3. In the course of that, I had clear marching orders from Mr. President. There was a Ghanaian in the contest, and Mr. President gave me clear marching orders to make sure whatever I will do to make sure that we secure that appointment for a Ghanaian. Mr. President, this morning, wherever he is, I'm so grateful for his leadership, for his massive support, and for his guidance. We did a lot. I can't put all on radio. Mr. President got actively involved in this matter. And then, in fact, at a point in time, we're in a very stiff contest with Morocco. And you know what Moroccans can do.
I see.
And so the long and short of the tale is that at the end of the day, we were able to approve all the state party, the health ministers. And on the D-Day, Mr. President had to release his foreign affairs minister to come and join me. And I recall the Minister for Health for Sierra Leone saying that, hey, Ghana, you came prepared. Just on the lighter note. And so at the end of the day, Mrs. Delesi Mimidako, the CEO of Food and Drugs Authority, emerged as the first African Medicine Agency Director General. So that is what I traveled out of the country to do. And immediately after that, the conference didn't even end. Because of this issue, I had to travel back immediately. That same day, that same night, I didn't sleep. When I touched down, I didn't go to the office. I didn't go home. I had to visit some of the health facilities to assess the situation myself. And since then, the rest is history. And I'm here, and I'm answering questions being posed to me by Johnny. Thank you.
Mr. Minister, thank you very much. We appreciate you.
You're welcome.
So now, I'm just learning that we have, more than 90 unions under you?
Yes.
How are you managing them? Tell me.
Johnny, it's the health ministry is a very critical one, very sensitive one. And I can tell you that almost every day there's an emergency to deal with. Every day, on hourly basis. Every day, whether it is cholera or it is meningitis or it is the e-health system or it is something, or it is family teaching hospital, or it is the nursing training institutions, or it is something, or it is ambulance. Every minute, it is not all that will come to the public, but it is something very, very critical. And so you need to devise a strategy to deal with all these matters. I'm enjoying it because, look, I love to work. And so, and we, from the church compound to construction of health facilities to engaging every sector. And so we take our time. You come in my office, for example, you take not less than every day. I do the memos and the letters more than 300 a day. So you must strategize. And don't forget I'm a member of parliament at the same time. You strategize. You see when you are meeting who, you see when you are going to the field, you see when you are meeting which unions and all that. But by the grace of God, it has not been bad. It's been very good, except that I don't have people like Johnny who will put some of these issues out there. So whatever I'm doing is restricted to my office. But I am enjoying it. And by the grace of God, it's not been bad.
Can I briefly ask you?
The challenges are there.
Right.
But you see, as a country, the very moment we say we no more have any challenge, it means that the country will cease to exist. So that is why we are here. That is why we are willing and ready to listen to everybody and try to take decisions that is in the best interest of the country, not under pressure. Once you begin to take any decision under pressure, you are putting the whole country into jeopardy. And that is not what any leader is supposed to do. No. And I will not do that.
I know that not many people know that you are a farmer who also wants to feed the nation and help the Ghanaian economy. But the people of Djabosu, they are also looking at you and say, Honorable Brefie, how do you juggle the two? Minister for Health, MP for Djabosu, how do you put the two together?
Tony, I remember, I think last week or so, my father came to my office. And he had to sit the whole day in my office and saw me only, I think, around 6 p.m. And I was saying sorry to him. And he said, no, I understand. If you give birth and you decide to give your son or your daughter to the nation, you must understand some of these consequences. And so the people of Djabosu, they appreciate me. They are very proud of me. And they understand because they know this is my fourth term in Parliament. I had never stayed in Accra more than a month without going to my constituency.
I see.
But as it stands now, yes, I had never, not until I became a Minister for Health, I had never stayed in Accra more than 1 month without going to my constituency, no. But at this point in time, Johnny, how can you go to Djabosu when the nurses are ready to engage you? You know? How can you go to Djabosu when Parliament is calling you to come and respond to why there's influx of opioids in the country? How can you go to Djabosu when they are chasing opioids to destroy? You understand? So I'm managing. As and when I have even one day, I rush quickly back. But I'm proud to say that I have a very strong leadership back at home, a very formidable party chairman, very formidable DCE, and they are also doing their best. But another circumstances, anytime I get the slightest opportunity, hey, I go back home. That is where I came from. And they are the people who have given me the opportunity, and I have gotten to where I am. I always tell them that, look, I didn't know Accra. You people sent me to Accra.
Right.
I mean, just on the lighter note.
Right.
Yes, so we are trying our best. And another circumstances, God will take us through. Without God, I don't think we can do much. But it's been very interesting. After being the ranking member of the Health Committee for 7 years, that was a different responsibility. And then now the Minister for Health, it's also an entirely different responsibility. And so it's a very. I remember when we went for my last World Health Assembly.
Right.
I've been going for the World Health Assembly in my capacity as a ranking member of the Health Committee, but this time as the Minister for Health. It was quite interesting. Everybody wanted to speak to the Minister for Health for Ghana. We're not doing so bad, but there's more room for improvement, especially when they had heard Mahama case. And everybody was interested. What is it? gov't invited me, Global Fund invited me, all the side events, everybody wanted me to be there. And you can ask my team, I mean, people, the entourage we went with. And Johnny, let me tell, I think you must know this. Do you know that the president who declared the strike was part of my delegation to WHA?
Hey, you were out there electing Dr. Delismi Medako?
No. That was AMA. But this one is World Health Assembly in Geneva.
Right.
So when I was going to Geneva...
You were there with the president, Madam Perpetua.
I am telling you. And the day she landed, we're all there together. I endorsed
But why couldn't you convince her?
Is it?
Why couldn't you convince her?
But we didn't pick the slightest signal that she was going to do that. Immediately she touched down, she did that. I engaged her again, and after engagement, she left.
I see. Was Dr. Tinkran there?
No, in WHA Tinkran was not there, but the ILO Tinkran was there.
I see.
I hear Tinkran was ILO still at Geneva.
Now,
some of these things you have to take it cool, and that's why I sound relaxed and sometimes attempt to even laugh over it. Just to calm down.
Yesterday, you looked very composed, and people are wondering, is this the minister under fire?
So we have to take it. If you take decisions under pressure, you take the right decision. You just have to be composed. Sometimes people may not. I believe very well that anybody who will be listening to me this morning, maybe yesterday came after me, maybe he or she may change his position. Yes, people have their own views. Sometimes, if they don't also understand where you are coming from, they may be tempted to take certain positions. And this is rule of law. Please, we have come to power. I'm in my 4th month in the office. I've given you all the attention. If somebody is not giving you the attention, you're not seeing anybody, nobody is listening to you, then frustration will increase. You declare strike. But I'm giving you all the attention. It's not been 1 year. It's not been 6 months. It's not been 7 months. It's still within a year. So you just give me that respect, that recognition that, Mr. Minister, okay, if the finance minister says they can implement it next year, then we are looking up to you. We are calling off the strike. Then I will take that one on. We sit down. Okay, this we can agree. This one we can agree. And this one we cannot agree. Then, Mr. Minister for Finance, please, in the next budget, let's try to capture. Look, when we came, I'll tell you this. We had a lot of arrears in the health sector. We had pharmacists who had done their housemanship and had not been paid, which was not part of this budget. Are you there? Hello?
I'm listening to you, sir.
I went to Finance Minister. Mr. Finance Minister, we had to pay these pharmacists who have finished their... He said, no problem, I'll pay. We had rotational nurses who had not been paid. I went to him, discussed with him. He says, no problem, we will pay. We went to them with the housemanship of the medical doctors. He says, no problem, we will pay. I went to him with the medical doctors' vehicles they had imported without a waiver. That look, some of them had even gone to demurrage. We had to clear it for them. We had to waive it. We had to use the ministry's goods and services to do it. We did it. So when you go the next time, you say, Mr. Minister for Health, please wait a minute. This one, can we push it to next week, next budget? You say you don't understand. Massa, Aden. Massa, Aden. You say you don't understand. Massa, what I've told you, you know you won't understand. At least you must reason up.
But they say the government is not being attentive to their issues. That's my final question. What do you say to them?
The Minister for Health is available. Let me even tell you this. The woman even went as far to meet the Minister for Finance, and the Minister for Finance opened his gate, his door, for her to sit down and have a discussion. Who is not paying attention? We are paying attention. In fact, if they say we're not paying attention, Johnny, let them come to you and bring them to my office. I'm paying attention. I'm ready to listen. I'm not paying attention.
The same nurses who are insulting me now, they should come to me.
I'm saying that. They are saying that. They should come to you, Johnny, right now and bring them to my office.
Do you know that in 2018, 2020, 2022, I spoke about nurses, I spoke about their allowances, I advocated for them. They were happy that I was talking about the politician. Today, they are doing wrong. I'm talking about them. They say I'm the evil one. So I take it.
Yes, that's how the world is. But I think that with all sincerity, with all humility,
right.
Johnny, number one, we have life to protect. Number two, we think that whatever they deserve, we must also be fair to them to give them. Number three, we also have a government to run. If we run this government into the ditch, the consequences will come to everybody. Today, we are all happy, jubilating over the strength of the city. It is not by coincidence. It is by the dint of hard work. So we all have to control. When you go to your finance minister, and then he tells you something. Sometimes, you see, and Johnny, maybe you must know this too. As a health minister, from where I sit, when I go to government or even cabinet,
right,
I must be able to defend my nurses.
Right.
There. When I come back to meet them, I must also be able to defend my government. You see my position, so I would never look good anywhere. I hope you understand where I'm coming.
I'm getting you. I'm coming along.
Yes, because when I go to cabinet or I go to government, I must be able to make sense out of what the people are demanding. So when I go and sit in front of Mr. President, and Mr. President asks me what is the meaning of height and death allowance, then I'm there, I can't explain. I should be able to defend it. And when I come and meet them and say, and the Minister for Finance, we can't accommodate this year, I can't say that because it is the Minister of Finance, I'm setting blame on this. That's not leadership. It's government. So I must take some of the fire as well. You see my position? But the money is not in the Ministry of Health to give them. That is the truth. That is the truth. That is the truth. But of course, and let it be told that I am absolutely not against any worker who is pursuing conditions of service that is reasonable, that is legitimate. I'm not. We are all working.
Right.
And we get paid. So if somebody is, looking for good conditions of service, I am absolutely not against it. No. But please, let there be good faith.
All right.
Let us show respect to each other. Respect is reciprocal. Let us not take entrenched position. Let us not be in the street striking while we are negotiating. Else, what you do is that you hold a gun to the head of government. It's not done anywhere in the world.
Mr. Minister.
And if we give in at this point in time, mind you, it's not my money. It's your money. It's my money. And we must take good care and take good decisions. Thank you.
Mr. Minister for Health, I'm grateful for your time this morning. The Honorable Kwabena Minta Kando, MP for Dwabuso, thank you very much for engaging us this morning.
Thank you.
As the only media station that could get this, we are grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We wish you well.
The best in the morning is on 92.7 Sunrise.